Mind if I drop this veggie broth off at my grandma's house while I'm over there?
If you want to.
I'm just making sure.
You know what I mean? That shit is woke. Anything. Now I'm getting ready to put y'all up on something, man. Yo, when you see something ill, you know what I mean? That shit is woke. Anything ill you see is woke. Nigga have a big six at the curb, that's woke, okay? Especially if he got the fully equipped kid on it, it's woke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I had this bad bitch uptown, she was woke. Had me fucked up in the head, I mean. Bought the bitch diamonds and pearls, I mean. Should've seen them shit shining on the wrist. That money ain't a problem, see my dough is like. Pulled out my bankroll on y'all niggas like. Off the blue strip from 210 like. Faggot wanna peep my blueprints, I'm like. Had to hit the brakes on y'all niggas like. Niggas getting both on my block like. Coming home within a half an hour like. Running like they had the manpower like. More or less. More so, I rip guitar slow, I live the fast life. Come through in the front slow like whoa. My niggas like dope, nitro, my flow, nice clothes like whoa. East Spain with cocaine like whoa. Now I'm Doc Strange in the range like whoa. 100 miles an hour switching lanes like whoa. Plus I'm getting brain from this chick like whoa. Make the near nigga asshole like whoa. Team floors, bitches and bitches like whoa. 9-9 Jag Benz coupe like whoa. Keep them G line on the blocks like whoa. Grenade through your window, bitch, like whoa. Love to see me do this shit like whoa. Niggas put me through this shit like whoa. So I'ma go toe to toe, blow for blow like whoa. And it's all so live the fast life. Come through in the more snow like whoa. My niggas like no nitro, my flow, nice clothes like whoa. We bagging, then flipping like whoa. Cars we jacking, then stripping like whoa. Fully equipped, front to back like whoa. Spitting on fiends that come for cracks like whoa. Asking for shorts and shit, nigga like whoa. Half on his cloth, now nigga that's whoa. Flow so properly, you'll see I'm whoa. Ain't no stopping me, I'm deep like whoa. Guns be popping, we creep like whoa. Hear my name in these streets, it's like whoa. Bust I pound the concrete like whoa. Fill his bitch ass, head to feet like whoa. Your man ain't whoa. The judge ain't whoa. COs ain't whoa. POs ain't whoa. Play yourself, I get the G.I. Joe. PIC, K-Riders ain't whoa. I rip guitar soul, live the fast life. Come through in the port slow like whoa. My niggas like no nitro, my flow, nice clothes like whoa. Niggas getting money in VA is whoa. Honey's looking right in ATL is whoa. Niggas flipping hoes in Chi-Town is whoa. Bitches taking paper in LA is whoa. Niggas stacking dough in DC is whoa. Beyond DR, hold me down like whoa. Ballers in Detroit, hold me down like whoa. Niggas in New Orleans getting money is whoa. Boston and Jersey motherfuckers is whoa. Florida niggas and Philly niggas is whoa. See, it's brackets, nigga. Them hoes ain't fucking you cause you ain't in that bracket, nigga. Learn life. It's levels to this shit, young boy. Hey, oh, you feel me? Yeah, little nigga, we don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't get the same paper, you a motherfucking hater, levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Yeah, oh Lord, cause it levels to the shit. Levels to the shit, can't fuck round hoe, cause it levels to the bitch. And I be rockin' powder like the devil in this bitch, and the burger pan like a gold medal to this bitch, Lord. And I'm happy as a kid, shining like a motherfucking bezel on my wrist. All my niggas mobbing, so we happy in the bitch. 30 grand for the beauty, that's a Chevy on my wrist. Woo, cocaine, Mosang, young nigga blowing up Kurt Cobain. Boom, skating on them like a Lil Wayne, and it's 458 through the low lane. Boom, swerve on them niggas, got a nerve on them, cause I heard the fat better and he had the birds on him. But that nigga back home, and them niggas roll with him. Quarter cakes, what you think? Nigga fucking told on him. I ain't get my shit snatched yet. You ain't get your bitch back yet. One card, nigga saying that tech, blood drawn, headshot, nigga brains on step. Hot shit is your pop shit, and I don't want your opinion if you ain't got shit. We young niggas, we winning, I pull up drop shit. My shit with more keys than a nigga. We don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't get the same paper, you a motherfucking hater, levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Oh Lord, damn Tommy, you ain't got no job. DC, we the motherfucking mob. Young niggas get straight to the money in a range with your honey. I pull up like I make 'em fly, move to Jana. Them boys shooting, no predator. Maybach, well, standing them, rolling down Calico, rugs, get the air with kill. Compound, niggas lie now. If it's the finals, I'm ballin' like a LeBron now. I call up Odyssey, tell them bitches to calm down. I treat that jet like a taxi the way I'm flying around. And I don't fuck with no niggas. If they don't fuck with my niggas. And I ain't fucking no bitches. If they fucking my nigga, we don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause it's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't get the same paper, you a motherfucking hater, levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Oh Lord, one time for the real niggas, two times for the bad bitches. Y'all suckers keep coming home, y'all suckers never have bitches. I hit the dealer for the never roll. That's the reason why you mad, nigga. That's the reason why you hating on me. I love all in my bad, nigga, cause it levels to the shit. Levels to the shit, can't fuck my house, cause it levels to the bitch. Cause it levels to the bitch, and a burger bag like a gold medal to the bitch, Lord. Hold up, little nigga, we don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause it levels to the shit. Little nigga, learn. See, it's brackets, nigga. Them hoes ain't fucking you cause you ain't in that bracket, nigga. Learn. See, it's brackets, nigga. Them hoes ain't fucking you cause you ain't in that bracket, nigga. Learn life. There's levels to this shit, young boy. Hey, oh, you feel me? Yeah, little nigga, we don't. See, it's brackets, nigga. Them hoes ain't fucking you cause you ain't in that bracket, nigga. Learn life. There's levels to this shit, young boy. Hey, oh, you feel me? Yeah, little nigga, we don't rock the same club. See, it's brackets, nigga. Them hoes ain't fucking you cause you ain't in that bracket, nigga. Learn life. There's levels to this shit, young boy. Hey, oh, you feel me? Yeah, little nigga, we don't rock the same cookie, 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 we don't rock the.
Man, peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, man. We back up in this thing. Got my homie with, Sacred Serpent. What's the vibes like this on a soft Monday, April 26th, April 22nd? It's a 4-4 day, right? 44 builders, right? With the energy, right? You a law of a 44 member, ain't you, Sacred? It's on 44.
Absolutely, and I just happen to be in my 44th solar return right now as we speak.
Hey, what the hell? You feel me? It's a 44 year, right? 2024. 2 plus 2 is 4 is 8. So I find, like, I'm gonna just say this without any simplification. Who the fuck are we as melanated people in America? Because I feel like the simple answer is we from Africa, and we all got shipped here via slave ships from Africa, and now we just here trying to get back to Africa. And Nigeria is a result of colonialism. Nigeria is not a real place, right? But people's gonna be on whatever bandwagon they're gonna be on because we don't know who we are. Through my years of spiritual development and channels and understanding and really wanting to know this question, I know the answer, right? And I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to act like I don't know who I am and know who I am. I'm not about to do that with y'all. And I want y'all to know who y'all are. Because if you don't know who you are, chances are you are a Moorish mound builder, an ancient American that have delineated from the Atlantean Empire. That's who you are. That's who you show up to today. And this is the conversation I want to have, right? And I don't want to have no other conversation. Not to say I'm closed-minded in the subject, but you got to come with receipts. Today we're going to come with the receipts. I got my boy Serpent here, so if I'm out of line, he going to correct me. If he want to add something to the conversation, he's more than welcome to. If y'all on the chat want to add to the conversation, y'all more than welcome to. Because I have no problem with Africans. I just never been there, and I never got a ticket. Serpent, anybody ever gave you a ticket to Africa telling you to go to meet your family?
Nah, I'm still waiting. I didn't think it would take this long. I think I would have got it by now, but I digress.
Did you grow up believing that you were an African American without doing the due diligence to figure out one or the other?
No, actually, I grew up trying to avoid the fact that I was Haitian. Right, I didn't even get to the African part. Like my father's Haitian, right? So when I was a kid, it was all about African booty scratches and shit like that. So, eventually, as I got older, I started to think, I guess I am African, right? Because they call me African American, but it never necessarily made sense to me.
And then they'll say that Haitians came from Africa too.
Facts.
Everybody that's dark-skinned, that's in the North and South American continent, have gotten here by the way of powerful white people with magnificent slave ships that kidnapped all of us from Brazil to Argentina, Venezuela, Caribbean islands, and every nigga in Dallas is a descendant of a slave trader. This is what they want us to actually have the conversation on. And not even white people, because you got black people that call themselves American descendants of slaves.
ADOS.
And that's not who we are. We're not descendants of slaves. And I just want to be so clear and so concise when we say it, because we live in the country right now that 40 million people don't know who they are. And the people that might have a glimpse of who they are, they're so radicalized and demonized that it don't even make no sense. The Hebrew Israelites. Nobody likes them. But have you ever thought the reason that nobody likes Hebrew Israelites is because they might be saying a little bit of truth? Mm-hmm. Is everybody saying the whole entire truth? No. If you think that, you're ignorant and delusional. But can you have a fragment of truth? Yes. What is the specific fragment of truth that they're hitting on? That black people are the people that they're talking about in the Bible. The stories run the same. Now, you might be like, well, what's the missing link? I'm going to tell you the missing link. In the Spanish Inquisition, what they did is that there is a such thing called Spanish Jews. These Spanish Jews got kicked out of Spain in 1492. The same year that should I bring it up? Because niggas might say like,
this is a receipt show. Do your thing.
Sephardic Jews is what we're going to be referencing. And let's just get into the history of the Sephardic Jews. The name Sephardi means Spanish or Hispanic, derived from Sepharad, a biblical location. The location of the biblical Sepharad points to the Iberian Peninsula as the westernmost outpost of the Phoenician maritime trade. So this is clear, bro. Whenever you hear Phoenicians, whenever you hear the Iberian Peninsula or Spain or Moorish, they're talking about the same kind of people. The Jewish presence in Iberia is believed to have started during the reign of King Solomon. So they're connecting King Solomon to Spain and the Jewish population that was in Spain. Now let's talk about when they got kicked out of Spain. And the question I want to ask you is, where did they go? For real, where did they go?
They had to go somewhere.
They had to go somewhere.
They ain't just up and disappear.
In the case of the Alhambra Decree of 1492, now 1492, this is the same year that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. The primary purpose was to eliminate Jewish influence on Spain's large converso population and ensure that they did not revert to Judaism. So over half of Spain's Jews had converted in the 14th century as a result of religious persecution. So basically, if you were a Jewish person, you were pressured to no longer be a Jewish person and to become a Christian. Now, in the chat, what is your grandmother's and grandfather's religion? Some's gonna be Islam, some gonna be Muslim, but it's gonna be a majority of black grandmothers and grandfathers that were Christian. And try to take Jesus away from your grandmother. I dare you.
Yeah, there's no possible way. The majority of my roots come from down south, which is the Bible Belt. So, yeah, you're not taking Christianity away from none of the forefathers. Like, you're not taking it away from none of your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. Like, you're not taking that away from them.
So, the real purpose of the 1492 edict likely was not expulsion, but compulsory conversion of and assimilation of all Spanish Jews. A process which had been underway for a number of centuries. Indeed, a further number of those Jews who had not yet joined the converso community finally chose to convert boom, boom, bow. So basically, you have this population of people that are essentially Hebrew or Hebrew Israelites from the time of King Solomon. Now, if we're going to imagine that the Bible that was written in Northern Africa is not melanated people at the very least, then, or at least melanated people that's right in the Bible in ancient times that's keeping these traditions, then we're going to forego the whole Moorish Empire, right? And a lot of times people are going to do that, right? People are going to say, let's just not talk about the Moors. Let's just keep quiet about the Moors. Because when you actually look at it, Spain was filled with Black Jews and Black Muslims. They were in the same boat. They weren't separated. But when we, in our colonized mind, we're trying to figure out the difference between Hebrews and Moors. We're really trying to figure that out. And even though they use the same prefixes such as El and Shaddai, and they work with the same deities, the same energies, the same aesthetic, we're still trying to figure out what's the separation point. But I would say, if you were really serious about trying to understand and understand something, you would just try to get into Hebrew a little bit. Because that's really how I started with this understanding and overstanding, because this is nothing that is coming from me. But my spirit and my soul said, start learning Hebrew. And one of the places that I went to was Gnostic Studies. GnosticStudies.org. The information on this page is very hard to digest. It don't make a lot of sense at first. But the more you study this, the more you get into understanding the Kabbalah, understanding the Hebrew, the more that you can start to understand who you really are. And the reason that I say this is because there is a reason that they're telling you that you're from Africa. There is a reason that they're telling you all of these particular things, because your actual history, it comes with a set of practices. It comes with a set of routines. It comes with a set of aesthetics that allow you to realize the best version of yourself, to attract the right things in your life, to really live in alignment with God. And when you look at society right now, do you feel like society is aligned with a power higher than itself?
No.
Does this look like a good thing to you?
You mean currently, like the way it is right now?
Yeah, is it good that people don't have God in their life?
Nah, because for the most part, what I've experienced is people placating the idea of God. Like God and the idea of a higher power for a lot of people is just something to talk about, as opposed to an actual way of life or an actual way to actually live their lives. Like, people like to talk about it, but as soon as you personalize it and you make it a way of life, or this is what I'm going to center my being around, the conversation changes. You know, we start talking about Drake and LeBron James. Like, it's not at all a matter of being right and exact with the oneness of the creator or the creation. It's about acting as if you are a God-fearing person, but doing something completely different behind the scene. It's not, this shit is not right and exact at all. Like, it's just not.
Now, when you was talking, it made me think of something, so I'm about to bring it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're saying is right and exact. So in Exodus 20:12, Honor your father and your mother so you may live long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. You see that, bro? Or no, I didn't. I haven't. Let me share the tab. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord God is giving you. The Bible is so amazing because it's not written about the past. It's written anecdotally. It's written in a way that they're using personifications to explain human laws that have been collected since before. And it's so powerful that it's able to project itself in the days and times. So within the Bible story, you are either an Egyptian or you're an Israelite. You are in the line of David or you're in the line of Cain. You are either led by God or you are possessed by the ego. So when you are on this spiritual path, it should open you up to new information. So when we talk about the mound builders, this is new information that's going to challenge you to think about things in a different way because you're living in America. And these things are taking place. These things have taken place. It was a whole society of ancient gods. See, they don't want to talk about the mounds, and they don't want to talk about America, and they don't want to talk about black people. They don't want to put it all together because then you got to ask serious questions, Ra. You got to ask, how was the mounds built? They don't know how the mounds is built. They because the mounds were built off of geomancy. Like, you got to start talking about you living in a magical universe and you having powers beyond the physical. So to keep you in a dense state of consciousness, nigga, they're going to tell you from Africa because they're not going to count your evolution. Maybe you do have bro, when you talk about DNA tests, people took DNA tests to say that they from Africa, but in the DNA test, they cannot actually get ancient DNA to test against. No, they're using it against people that live in Africa right now. But those people that live in Africa right now, how long have they been living there? Did they migrate there? Did they spawn? Like, so, and then in Africa, we know that they said that they sold Africans. They didn't sell Africans. They sold people that wasn't like them. But we think the skin tone make us like each other. And it's business. It's never personal. Like, it's business, never personal. And the reality is, if you the child of the Most High, everybody know that you the child of the Most High except you. Because if you know that you're the child of the Most High, it comes with gifts. It comes with a specific knowledge that you're supposed to hone in and focus, because I did not know about a mound because nobody was talking about a mound on the internet, YouTube, Instagram, nothing. Spirit showed me these mounds driving a chlorine truck in Ohio in towns that I never heard of before. Meaning that if I didn't have this chlorine truck, because Spirit told me I filled out the application, Rob, and they was like, you hired. I said, it don't work like that. Y'all supposed to call me back tomorrow.
They didn't even look at your application. They just took you.
Listen, Rob, I said, y'all supposed to call me back tomorrow and tell me I got the job. They said, okay. They called me back tomorrow and said, you're hired. I said, okay. Then
you was hired just because you applied.
I was hired because I applied, bro. It was imagine a job where you driving around smoking weed all day, listening to tunes. And you good because you driving a company vehicle. So At the end of the day, niggas know you on business, and you just kind of just coasting through life, really getting paid to
you got a license to uncover
your history. Because these mounds, it's 10,000 mounds in Ohio. I never heard about one mound, and I lived in Ohio my whole life. That's a mystery. That's spirit uncovering something about life. That's like telling me you want to know who you are. You don't vibrate with the out of Africa origin story.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's not truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, African American studies, them niggas hate me from a soul level. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to college and the professor at the African American studies hated the questions that I was asking him that he couldn't answer. Because people are so dead set that we were fucking slaves and fucking slave ships that they can't get beyond it. They can't even outstretch their imagination to say, even if that story was true, who the fuck were you before that? Let's fixate and focus on that. Because if you were to fixate and focus on that, that's when the shit gets biblical. Everybody know who you are. That means everybody got a Bible and they know I'm the son of Cain or I'm the fucking son of David. Everybody know this. So when you talk about the mounds, you also talking about the Bible too. Oh, you ain't know that, did y'all? Uh-oh. Let's get into John Smith
Here
and
we
the
go.
mounds.
Here we go.
What does John Smith say about the mounds in North America? Because niggas just be acting like religion is not connected to this, and it is. Mounds visit in North America by Mounds in North America, Joseph Smith visited. Now, Joseph Smith is like the number one Mormon. But when you say Mormon, right?
Mormon.
Like, man, you're not talking about who you think you're talking about.
Nope.
Because the facts of the matter is, nigga, if your grandma or grandfather could live in Utah, they probably would. If your grandma or grandpa could live in Oregon, they probably would. If your grandma or grandpa could live in Wyoming, they probably would. But guess what, nigga? They could not.
Nope.
There's certain places in America that if you look like us, you're not going to be able to live. Or maybe you can probably live now, but there was definitely a time. It's called sundown towns.
Yes.
So when you look at the way that the country is laid out, it's cities with black people, and then it's suburbs and towns with white people. But not when you go down south, because when you go down south, it's rural across the board. So you might find black towns and things of that nature. But up north, you're not gonna find that. Out west, you're not gonna find that, and it's a reason why. Because these were our lands.
Just one little pushback on that. There are sundown towns in Maine and Boston.
Oh yeah, I said up north. Yeah, up north.
Okay. I thought you were saying
up northeast, northwest. The whole north is fucked up. Boston. We can have a whole nother conversation on Massachusetts, right? Like that's to this day. They hate black people in Boston, right? Ask an athlete, right? Ask LeBron James. There has been a lot of, this is from Joe Smith, the founder of the Mormon religion, but he just inherited the Mormon religion from the actual Mormon, the Mormon that inhabited the land, right? Because this land was inhabited by people. This land is still inhabited by people. Look, this is what they did. It's called the Reverse Underground Railroad. They took your ass from wherever they took you and brought your ass down south, but they did not take you from Africa. So if you say, I came here on a ship, you don't know you came from Africa. And if they said you came from Africa, but you don't have a concept from Africa, you'll say, you would be in fucking Maine saying, man, I really miss Africa. But they just kidnapped you in the goddamn King Philip's War. In the King Philip's, listen, the King
took you around the block, bro. That's all.
They took you down the street and said they took you to Africa. They took you from Africa. That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. You see,
exactly what happened.
What's the name of that Janelle Monáe movie? What's that, John? When she was down south and she thought she was a slave and she woke up and it was a whole show going on. Like it was a movie. It was a Civil War reenactment joint.
12 Years a Slave do the same thing, and I know what movie you talking about too. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Antebellum. 12 Years a Slave. This nigga was in New York playing a goddamn violin, living a good life. Nigga, they kidnapped him and made him a slave. And they ain't kidnapped him from Africa. They kidnapped him from New York. When you talk about Britain and England, those are black people. The Moorish heads that show black people on their goddamn coat of arms, because they was, man, what the hell? What are we talking about?
When we talking about the evolution of our people, we need to understand that they need this thing to be about us being from Africa because they need you all to line up with being evolutionary from apes. Like that's what that all comes down to. Like they want you to think that you came from animals, and that animal theory has to come out of Africa. It doesn't work. If you're indigenous to this land, then you couldn't possibly be evolutionary from apes. Like that just doesn't work. But if you're from Africa, we can all say that everybody was climbing in the trees and then they started walking upright and blah, 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 and they just evolved from there. But if you were born here, then that whole evolutionary thing from apes doesn't even work.
Joseph Smith said, there have been a lot of talk from some intellectuals about various hoaxes purported to be associated with certain mounds and artifacts of stone, including ancient Hebrew stones. Let me zoom in, because niggas will say, no, it ain't nobody that ever said that the Moors was connected to the mounds through the Hebrew and that, like, you know, but Joseph Smith is a Mormon, but then he's saying, oh, whether it's true or not, people are saying that the mounds are connected to the Israelites. Including ancient Hebrew stones and script found in North America. It makes sense that when Lehi landed in North America, he and his culture left behind evidence of his Jewish and Israelite heritage. Since nothing has been found in South and Central America, these intellectuals want to condemn anything that may have been found in North America. Of the 10-12 evidences found in North America related to Hebrew, the scholar refute all of them as hoaxes. Why? Why is they all a hoax? But when they come up with a goddamn marble statue from under the fucking water of a white man with a little dick, that shit is the realest shit you ever seen. But there are no ancient white statues, Roman, Greek, nothing that are original black or original white people. All of the statues, your vision of Rome and Greece, have been created in the 17 and 1800s of the Renaissance period. It's called the Renaissance because they rebirthed Roman and Greek architecture because they wasn't there. All right, now
they had to reposition that thing so they could replace themselves within history. Otherwise, if you look at history, they do not exist anywhere.
They don't exist.
But your people are everywhere.
And you are all over the planet doing magic.
You in fucking things. You in Tasmania. You in fucking Czechoslovakia. You in New Zealand. You in Australia. You everywhere.
Spain, America, everywhere, right? But then they shoot the nose off the Egyptian monuments. They take the face off the Roman goddesses, like in the name of quote unquote Christianity. No, they are.
You need to ask yourself, why do they have African studies and at the same time have Egyptology? Like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Because if Egypt is within Africa, then Egypt would fall within African studies if that was an actual thing. But it's not. It's a political segment to split the masses up and say, let's teach this over here and let's teach this over here. Because the more complex it gets, the less likely people are going to search and try and do research and try and figure out what is what. Because if you've been told a lie your whole life, if somebody presents the truth to you, you're not going to accept it.
African American studies, right? The Bible take place in Africa, right? But African American studies is not going to talk about anything related to the Hebrew and the Black experience, right? I wonder why. So they're saying that Hebrew skipped over all of Judaism. Hebrew have skipped over every melanated person.
Which makes no sense.
And it was in Africa and it went straight to the Russian Ashkenazi Jews.
It makes no sense.
It migrate all like that, like all of like the it's just like it's just blowing my mind right now to think how many people did it have to skip over to get to the chosen people.
These specific people,
they hold it. But
when they can't sit in the sun for longer than an hour. But you're gonna say that they birthed from a particular place that is, it's a sun land. Like
these are the land of the sun.
These are the sun people. Like there's no way the person that can't stand in the sun for longer than a few hours without burning themselves was born there. Like it doesn't make sense.
Let's continue. This seems way too easy to just condemn any evidence. That's what people do when they can't explain things. Much of today's science is not engaging in finding new truths, but in finding new pet theories. So today we're trying to engage your mind in a new theory that if you propose to be a descendant from Africa America, but Africa America is not a place, how you gonna be that?
How is that your origin story?
How is that your origin story? That's a pet theory. That's a theory. So that's a theory, right? Mm-hmm. On his face, that's a theory. You and your ancestors were descendants of slaves. Not to say that slavery didn't exist. You could, never mind.
What you're saying on the level that it was purported, it didn't exist that way.
Yeah, it couldn't have, because this whole country is still here. It didn't relegate itself to Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri. Nigga, I live in Detroit. Mm-hmm. There's shit going on in Detroit right now that niggas have no idea about. And we got internet, cell phones, cameras everywhere. Niggas know how to live low key. Mm-hmm. Imagine a society in a place in a world with basically wild trees everywhere and tribes that have been here forever. Mm-hmm. It's a specific plan to hunt these people, kidnap these people, and wrangle them. Meaning that before this is happening, niggas is living. What are their stories? Mm-hmm. You have no idea. So therefore, you get a condensed story that don't have nothing to do with you and actually your actual history. So I'm giving you a different theory to say, well, what if I'm a Phoenician? What if I'm a Hebrew?
You are.
What if I've been picked on and pinpointed, my ancestors have been picked on and pinpointed, and now I'm here today and I'm identifying with all types of crazy shit. Now, I'm a him, they, she, her, African, American, ADOS, FBA, foundation. I'm ADOS, foundational Black American. Now I'm just making up shit. Well, if Tariq Nasheed can just make up a race of people, I'm going to just say fuck that shit and go study more into the Hebrew, because the Hebrew is ancient. The Hebrew is the language of the Bible. Hebrew is the language of the people. We are the people, but we don't know the language. And God is so good that he still gives us the English language. So when you look at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, those are remnants of the Hebrew alphabet. God could not be in this world, and our alphabet could be fucking Chinese, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing what from what, but we know the dot on top of the I is a yod.
Yod.
A yod. A yod.
Yod.
It's sperm. It's creation. Like we know this, but we're not into this science for real. But we can because we got the alphabet. The alphabet is great because the Hebrew is the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get into our language. When you get into the Hebrew language, it's going to open up for you the same way it opened up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Since no new scientific law has been discovered or proven in over 100 years, the scientists are now propping up new theories as if they are true. Mormonism sprang from the Mounds. I'm just going to read some highlights, and I'll put this link of this website in the chat so y'all can read it for yourself. At one time, there were over 1 million ancient earth mounds in North America. Approximately 100,000 remain today. These mounds are located in territory from western New York through the western Missouri.
And shout out to Roz Ben too, if y'all haven't been made privy to that man, because free your mind, free your mound, and your mind will follow is a must-have for every Hebrew, Israelite, Egyptian, like whatever you call yourself. Free your mound and your mind will follow is an essential have. You need to have that book. He has done the work, and he has proven he has the receipts to everything that the Brotherhood is talking about right now. So get that book, and shout out to Ross Ben.
Shout out to Ross Ben. Yeah, man. I just get so fired up, man. I get so pumped up because it just be like every once in a while, I just think about the work that I've done and the things that like Spirit have showed me, but I don't really be talking about it all the time because it just be like whatever. But then sometimes Spirit just be having to tell me like, no, we done put you on to some shit. Like, and people don't be knowing for real. So it's the reason we told you is so you can share and, you know, give it up to the people because, yeah, like people be out here lost in the sauce. So maybe you could do some research, get some understanding on your own. What else you got for me, Rob? What's some other shit that's on your mind? We talk about this further or just some different shit?
I think you can expound on it. Just finish going up with the Mounds, bro, because I think that whole concept of how we built our mounds and talk about the golf courses.
Let's get into it. That's why you gotta have a real nigga on your squad. You feel me? Some of y'all don't got real niggas on your squad. One's in the chat if you need a real nigga on your squad, man. I'm gonna pull this up.
Think is a joke. Why they got them the most expensive shit, most expensive sport played on golf courses?
Let's talk about money, right? You ain't about to be broke on no golf course. Let's just say that.
Nope. The caddy ain't broke on the golf course, nigga.
Nobody broke at the golf course. You're gonna need money to enter the golf course. But the golf course within itself is just a level of consciousness, right? Some people are going to say, man, I really love golf, right? Right? I really love the sport and whatever. But the average person can't go onto the golf course. And the reason why is because the golf courses in your city, in your town, what did Joseph Smith say? It was 1 million mounds in America at one point. Now it's 100,000. Mm-hmm. Where are they at?
It's just up and disappeared.
Where they at though? I'm asking questions, but I'm gonna give you the answer. The mounds is the golf courses where the elite tap into sacred energy. And your broke ass be trying to do a fucking money manifestation ritual. We're not talking about the sport of golf, and we're not talking about things in reference to the sport of golf. We're talking about specific locations, mainly older locations that's fenced off to the public, mainly in nice ass neighborhoods that you can drive by and you see the land terraforming.
Mm-hmm. And them shits be beautiful, bro. They look so fucking fly, bro.
Yeah, they might do something to the video, but we gonna talk about it in a way that I'm gonna show it regardless. I might not even show. I'm not gonna do no video, no audio, right? I'm gonna just show y'all American Gods season 2 opening.
They always put it right in front of your face.
Let's get it. No sound. Just watch, bro.
They can't help themselves, bro. They can't help themselves.
Bro, I didn't know it was going to be that fast.
Bro. That's because we're in alignment right now.
Bro, American God season 2. Why is the golf course there?
We did not plan this out. This just happened.
It just happened this way. Why are they correlating American Gods and golf courses? Ask yourself this question. Because if you don't ask yourself this question, you're going to just be looking at golf courses. Golf courses in Florida, golf courses all along the coast, nice neighborhoods, are ancient mound parks that the elite siphon off the energy of the land because the land is conscious. The land is a living organism like you and me. This is why it's Capitol Hill, city halls, and it's private parties, and the only thing is your ass not invited.
Facts.
The country club is a club. The main words you need to fixate and focus on a country club is club. Club, nigga. Country club, nigga. The club of the country, nigga. You get it? It don't have nothing to do with golf.
Nothing.
Exit golf out the equation. Because it's like black people want to play golf now because Tiger Woods and fuck all of that. You're gonna be hitting the ball with a stick. And that's cool. You get your hand-eye coordination together, exercise, walking out in the nature. I love it. But at the end of the day, we talking about the hitting deeper meaning of the spiritual modality of this country and how we actually fit in and tap into it. The beautiful thing about Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, give or take.
Go in your room. You gotta go in your room.
Is that they have mound parks. They have places that you could go that's called specifically a mound park. Peace.
Areas and stuff like that. You know, because I've had people, you know, mention that to me. And not really have a really good way of like explaining it to them other than, you know, prove to me that Harriet Tubman existed. You know what I mean? Prove to me, you know, that, you know what I mean? Like how what's the guy's name? Dick Gregory, how he said Alex Haley didn't write Malcolm X autobiography. You know, is it, because sometimes I even think about like, man, maybe the founding fathers of the United States ain't even real. And it's just a mythos, you know what I mean? A pastime mythos that was created about America, you know what I mean? Just to get the shit going. And then they just, you know, go off of those things.
All right. So Harriet Tubman, I love this question because, you know me, I've actually went to Five Forks, New York, right?
Yeah.
Like the fucking point of New York where it's like 5 rivers, and then it's like this area of like just kind of like beaches and rivers, and like it's a vibe, right? And Harriet Tubman lives the remainder of her life out in this area, right? Harriet Tubman's benefactor is the governor. Like, she's literally in a space. Her home is surrounded by the elite. So let's just ask a question here. Let's use our common sense. Most people ain't gonna go to Cuyahoga County and go to Harriet Tubman's house, but when you go there and you see they have like a museum with her, and they have like the guide or whatever. It's 90% white people, 10% black people. Tell me why. Right? People care about Harriet Tubman, but if you go there and you see her house, and then you see the senator's house, do you see the governor's house, do you see this other politician's house, and do you see this other politician's house? They're all circling her house. They sponsor her. I wish I could like specifically point this out to you.
Like she the Black Madonna.
Yeah, she like their face card. Like,
they still want to put her on the 20, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But she was a government agent, right? She was a spy.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so it's like
she absolutely was.
Work with the Union Army to help slaves travel to the North once they came behind Union lines. Let's talk about that. She took black people from the South to the North as if the North was your key to salvation, nigga. You came to the North to work in a factory. Who knows what you was doing down South?
Facts.
Who knows who she was bringing?
They probably killed way more niggas in the North than they did in the South. Because they don't tell you about the niggas they killed in the North.
Why is we thinking like the North care about black people? Why do we act like the North and the South is mean, racist, and the North is here to save black people from the abolition of slavery? Like, no, it wasn't like that, bro.
Yeah,
it was not like that.
The North was covert with their shit. The North was covert, and the South they couldn't hide their shit. They couldn't hide how they felt about you. But the North was what? It was covert with it. They was behind the scenes with it.
Because the North was considered everything above Maryland, which was, like y'all was saying, Massachusetts, New York.
Yeah, New England.
What
basically
else?
New England.
Yeah.
Talking about Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut.
Yes. Vermont and New Hampshire and New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they always give us the agents to prop up, you know, like always give us the agents.
So this is the story. His name is William Seward, right? William Seward, a United States Senator from New York State. Why you don't never hear the story about Harriet Tubman, right? At the time of their meeting, Seward was mounting a bid for the presidency himself. So this is a powerful man. He would soon become Secretary of State under Abraham Lincoln. William's wife, Frances Seward, ran an underground railroad station out of her kitchen, so forth and so on. Frances inherited several properties upon the death of her father. In 1859, sold Tubman a 7-acre farm with a house located on the edge of Auburn in Fleming, New York. This is where me and my family stayed at for a day, just to tap into the energy. in Fleming, New York, is nothing but white people in Fleming, New York. Period. Point blank. Her mansion, is her mansion, and a mile left is the Seward mansion. This is the senator who wanted to be a president that ended up settling to be a Secretary of State. So if you can't tell me this story of the inner workings of Harriet Tubman, I don't want to hear about Harriet Tubman, because I wanted to see it for myself, and I literally saw it for myself. Oh, Harriet Tubman is an agent for the United States government, throwback edition. That's just the facts. Because ain't nobody black linking with the white people like this. Especially during these times. Like, she was basically the token Negro to these motherfuckers, bro. And the people want to prop her up as the leader or the savior of black people. She didn't free black people from slavery. She just introduced them into another slavery. You can even watch it in her movie. When they taking the black people to Philadelphia, they looking like, what the hell you get us into? We should have stayed back there on the plantation. They didn't get no property when they came to Philadelphia. They didn't get no land. They didn't get shit. They got a job and a fucking ass to kiss. Mm-hmm. Your mama was a nanny or doing something. Like, it's the same thing. It's not different in this country. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would definitely say do your research on Harriet Tubman. If you in the New York area, go up to Five Forks area. It's a great place to take your kids and go on. Look at that shit. Mm-hmm. Look at that shit. That shit don't sit right.
Anything in upstate New York, you should want to visit as a melanated person, just because, like, that's your stuff. Like, they pushed us out of those places on purpose. When they're talking about your Salem witch trials, they're talking about your aunts and grandmothers. Like, that's it, essentially it. There wasn't no white witches they was killing up there. They was killing us.
The Salem witch trials started from a black slave.
Another fact.
Tituba was a Native American slave woman. How the fuck? What is we talking about? What is we talking about?
How are you a native and a slave at the same time? Explain that.
What's the actual verbiage of that? A Native American slave woman who was one of the first to be accused of witchcraft during the Salem witch trials. You know what else talks to this? Another thing that talks about this, Eve's Bayou. Listen to the story about Eve's Bayou. They're talking about like how the people was kidnapped and killed and all types of stuff. So when you watch Eve's Bayou again, listen to that story at the beginning. And it's the same story of Tituba, right? It's the same thing. She was pivotal in the trials because she confessed to witchcraft when examined by the authorities, giving credence to the accusations. She accused the other two women, Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, of the same crime. She was in prison for over a year but never tried. What happened to her after a grand jury dismissed the case against her in May 1693 is unknown. So interesting, right? So interesting.
But you'll never hear about this in the mainstream. Like, you'll never get this. Like, this is the stuff you have to dig for.
Nigga, you know this shit is corny, right? They said Tituba's husband's name was John Indian. None of this shit is real. Like, you think history is reliable, bro? What the fuck?
Yo, they not even creative with their lives, yo. Like, they not even creative with this shit, bro.
Yeah. John Indian. Hey, yo. So, you know, whether you're talking about Massachusetts, whether you're talking about Florida, you're talking about I-95 from Fort Mose to points in between of Maine, you're actually talking about mounds and networks, right? This is a picture of Fort Mose. This is a mound place in Florida, right? And there's so many different mounds and so many different locations, so many different stories, and this is a way to connect to your history. So the reason that I'm saying this is because you're going to have to be psychic to be able to understand and overstand these questions, the things that I'm saying. Although I can Google this stuff, it was a point in time when I didn't know this. And if a person was telling me the stuff that I'm telling y'all today, I'll be like, that nigga hood is crazy as fuck. I can't listen to this nigga no more. But God had to show me, pull me into that van, drive me to these places, and bear witness to this shit. And even then, you amongst the ancestors. They're there right now. But you have to be consciously able to perceive it. And then when you're able to perceive it, then you can show the receipts. Then people know how you coming. Right? Go ahead.
And just because you've never heard of something before, or something is not popular within the conversation or the annals of melanated people, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true. It just means that things out, because the regular story just didn't make sense. If you just look at it from a logical standpoint, there's no way that your mind can reason with the reality that these people have been trying to purport to you. Like, there's no way. If you're logical, right? And if you're on some emotional kick, because you think, you have ancestors who've been whipped to death, like, again, you've brought into a diabolical scheme that had absolutely nothing to do with you, but it was just put there in order to make you look in a different direction. All we're saying is just look in all directions. Like, you can't do this anymore. We keep going on and on and on and allowing this story to be told, and you got our kids believing that the only reason they exist is because slaves were brought over here 3,000 miles ago, on 3,000 miles away from some ship that never existed. Like, we have to get to a point where people want to dig and find out the truth on their own, and like he said, on a psychic level, because if you're doing this shit from the information that they're going to readily make available, then you're just going to be going in circles, and you'll be believing in shit like John Indian. So
nah, you could have kept cooking, man. I had to go, you know what I'm saying, be a human real quick. Use the bathroom. having a deep spiritual conversation, and humanity kicked in. No, well, look, because we zig and zagging. That's the way you got to do this information. Because if a download come, you got to jump on that download. Then you got to get back to your original point, because that's how we going to do it. Because it ain't simple. It ain't simplified. Certain people going to hear this information and say, this nigga's on some bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then certain people will say, damn, this kind of makes sense. Let me do my due diligence. And then it's a third people that's going to take me for what I'm saying and don't do that. Because I could be full of shit, right? Everything that I could say could be a lie. What I want you to do is do your own research. I didn't create the term mound builders. That's a group of people that they can't specifically identify that inhabited the earth. Mm-hmm. But then when we talk about black people, it was people in America already when white people came here that they had dominion over. In theory, they put them in reservations and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Why didn't they enslave those people? 2. Oh, they did enslave those people. Okay, got it. So they're going to enslave the people that's here. Got people, but you know what? We need more people from Africa. So because all of this costs money. Mm-hmm. You got to get the boat. You got to build the boat. You got to hire the crew. You got to get the people. And then you got to fill the boat up in deplorable conditions that don't make no sense in your mind, because we all seen the picture of the slave ships where we're all at the bottom of the boat tied up. I just had to take a piss. We could never be on a boat for months at a time, pissing and shitting around each other. We will all die. So logistically, it's a nightmare. It's financially crazy, but we are already here and they are already enslaved us. And now they just give us a false narrative. So now when we actually get to tap into spirituality, most people is going to go into some Orishas, into some Ifa, into some Santeria. And there's nothing wrong with that. But why don't you know anything about ancient American stuff? But because we psychic and we getting downloads. They're not going to give you no downloads about the place that you at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why would your spirits forsake you like that? So this is Black Briar. I don't know what Briar means. So I'm going to look up what Briar means and see what this means when they say Black Briar. Briar has a negative connotation similar to the words such as hillbilly or redneck. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But briar has also been used as a term of self-reference by the migrants themselves and their descendants. What the hell, man? Black briar at a golf course. So basically, black derogatory term, black nigger, man.
Yeah, Chat GPT said a black colloquial term.
Oh, dang.
Chat GPT wanted to be nice about it, right? Like colloquial.
And then they got the Masonic. They got the Masonic bird, right? What is that bird? That's the Ab Order Chaos bird.
Mm-hmm.
The Masonic bird, right? See that? Then they got the CC, right? They about to hit it. That's a metaphor, right? They about to smack your ass.
That's a sigil.
Like the golf course on the CC, like come on. The CC is I just know what the CC is. It's 33. ABC.
Uh-huh.
ABC.
Yeah.
It's just 33, bro.
Because
when you look at the bird, what you see? 33.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. C 33, man. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Pinterest is undefeated. Pinterest got that shit, boy. And it's so crazy because we could go all the way
members
back.
Only.
Yeah, we could go all the way back to the Three Musketeers on this if we want to.
We can go to baseball.
Yeah,
baseball.
Yeah,
the picture at the top of the mound.
It all boils down to ball worship. So, ball worship, BAAL.
I think Ross Ben described it as like mound gritting. Baseball.
Mound gritting. Mm-hmm.
Geonecromancy.
Because you have baseball in the mound, in a baseball mound. Because people are like, what you mean baseball?
The pitcher pitches from a mound.
The pitcher pitches from the mound. And he's surrounded by a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
The mounds are where the buried treasure was at. But the baseball, did you ever see where the baseball Hall of Fame is?
That's Massachusetts.
It's in New York. Upstate
Massachusetts. It's in upstate New York.
Upstate New York. But the basketball joint is in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. Now, you see that? Y'all can't probably see it, but I'm gonna zoom in. Y'all see that? The Susquehanna River, National Baseball Hall of Fame, is literally right there. The Susquehanna River, that's one of the rivers that they first did ritual on. And the Baseball Hall of Fame and baseball is just a big ritual. So it get deep, man. You could basically uncode everything that's in front of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the baseball games ain't getting no views now. Like it's like 100 people at the game now. It's sad.
Yeah, them shits died like 8 years ago, bro.
Mhm.
Ever since that steroid shit, them niggas ain't never recouped from that.
They just changed the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's almost like the same thing when you think about it.
They're trying, but they still got the Atlanta Braves, so it don't matter. You know, like they trying.
Yeah.
They placating the idea of trying to act like they changing shit, but they not changing shit.
But the quote unquote Indians were the guardians of this land.
Absolutely.
So it's just like like you saying, they're making it seem like they're making progress.
And that's one of that's the biggest curse word as far as I'm concerned. Motherfuckers talk about all of this shit. The first time a motherfucker bring up progress, be like, what? Like, what do you determine as being progress, bro? Like, is this progress? And then there's a turtle walking across the street, nigga. And this shit is like a turtle walking across the street.
This is the mascot of an Indian.
Facts.
Who that look like, bro?
Facts.
Don't that look like your little ass in the fucking streets of Brooklyn, Rob? With the fucking sticks? Badass little Rob. Like, Rob, get your ass in the house.
Yo,
we all know a nigga that look like that, man. Come on.
Can you imagine, bro? Like, just think about that, bro. Like, that's the mascot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had black mascots before they allowed black players. Let's put that together.
Woo! Damn.
Let's put that together.
God damn.
The Great American Minstrel Show is fucking is the longest running show ever, bro. The Great American Minstrel Show. That might be the next podcast.
It's just Kodak Black in a different lifetime.
Facts.
Yeah.
That might be his cousin.
Might be related. It's crazy, man. This picture just really.
You know what that shit made me think about? You remember Howard Stern when he used to have that Mission Black dude on there with the wild teeth?
Beetlejuice.
Oh.
Yo, he was making so much. He was making fun of niggas right to their face, and they didn't even realize it, bro. Like, bro.
Yo.
Why was this man on TV, bro? Why?
He was a minstrel. He was to be made fun of,
bro.
You know any white people that look like this on TV? Name me one.
None.
Name me one white person like that.
Rodney Dangerfield.
It's like 30 years ago, man.
No, if I'm saying like deformed, like making fun of a deformity.
Yeah, nah,
bro. They don't. They only paint us in that light. They only paint melanated beings in that light. They'll never paint themselves in that light.
Yeah. It's a tradition, man. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
Mm-hmm.
I like this build, man. Is there anything else, y'all? Any questions from the chat? Ice JJ Fish. Anything in the chat that y'all want to know, like mound building, ancient history questions, like questions you always want to ask? Maybe I don't know. Maybe Rod don't know. Maybe we can do some research for the chat. Any mysteries y'all want to uncover?
What was the formulation of the mounds? Like, how did they set them up? What was the construction of it? Like, I believe Rosman said that they formatted it based on the contributions to particular tribes in that society. So like the doctors and the lawyers will be first, and then like the scholars, and then everybody else will come up behind them. So like it was set up sort of like the most important to the least important, something like that?
Let's look at it from a perspective that we can probably understand. Right. So this is Cahokia, right? This river right here is the Mississippi. So when you have a mound, you have a basic understanding that it's next to water. So most mounds is next to water. Most major cities is connected to water in some form or some sort because everything is based upon trade and having a place to live that's going to protect you from the environment. Because the environment have wild animals. So when you congregate and have these cities, so you protect yourself from the terrain. So another way to look at Monk's Mound or Cahokia was a civilization that was larger than London at the same time London was at its largest, right? So in the 1500s, this was a bustling place of high trade and high commerce from North to South America. Now the mounds are elevated. It's different forms of mounds for different reasons. So it's some mounds like Monk's Mound is just a place where the king or the leader live. So it's the elevated platforms. It's almost like a building that ain't nothing in it per se. It's just elevated platforms that you can then put your TP on, and then people walk up the stairs. So if like, it's the same way as if you live in a gated community.
Sort of like a museum.
You separating yourself from the people basically. But you live in there though. People living on these mounds. And that's just one form of mound. But then I'm gonna show you a different type of mound. Newark earthworks. Because it's various type of mounds for different type of purposes, depending on the place.
Break down Serpent Mound while you on it?
We might as well. This is a different type of place. This is a place that you go for healing. Now, this is what Spirit has showed me. And then I was reading in the book that kind of confirmed it. But what Spirit has showed me was this, right now, I would park somewhere in this area as a parking lot. You get out the parking lot and then you go and you enter. It's like a little opening. You walk in, it's an eagle mound, the wings, the body. And then this circle area is all water. It's like a moat. And in this circle area is different healers, different shamans, people making potions, people just selling stuff, clothes, all types of different things. And this is where you would go to get healing at. This was a mound structure, right? And then there's different areas, different things you can do, because this is all technology. Then you would take this, it's a passageway you could take, and now you at the octagon earthwork, and this is more spirit, this is more healing. More different things is happening at different places, but all of this represents technology. So the mounds were technology for certain times, and then it was places to live for certain times. So how would you then try to explain it for an American mind? A building have different purposes. It's a lab, but you ever go to a place and like, this used to be a school, now it's apartment buildings. But it's the same building and structure. So then a person will ask you, well, what are buildings for? And people will be like, man, they must have worshiped buildings back then. It's 1 million buildings in America. No, there were actual places where they allowed human beings to function. So with that being said, we're gonna do Serpent now.
It was used to facilitate different practices.
Our ancestors worked with nature. They didn't work against nature. Like staying inside and being on a tablet all day. Like our ancestors worked with nature. They didn't believe life existed without nature.
And another point is that they built the mounds on ley lines. So they were used to facilitate the energy, to bring about the energy to then facilitate it to the people.
What they call energy meridians, yeah.
Yeah, energy meridians or ley lines. So Serpent Mound is an artistic. And then you'll be like, well, what are you talking about? Could you or could you not go somewhere and see a statue? Does that statue have any real functions? To the naked eye, no. But then when you look at the Serpent Mound, it's these humps. Well, on each of these humps represent an equinox or a solstice. To whereas if you were to, they align perfectly with the equinox and solstice, but then they're also, venerating the serpent because this is the place in history where Adam and Eve took place. This is the actual serpent from the garden that says you can't eat this, that, and the third, and you're gonna be like, Hood, you on bullshit. All right, Serpent Mound County.
This is why I love this nigga, yo. I swear to God,
the Serpent Mound is in Peebles, Ohio. What county is Peebles, Ohio?
Ain't it Adams County?
Yeah.
Adams County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to go.
Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this up.
Now, they also say the Garden of Eden was the formation of 3 rivers. When you look at the Serpent Rock, when you look at the Serpent Mound, you can bear with your own eyes. It's a convergence of rivers that locate where the Serpent Mound is at. These rivers converge on each other, and the Serpent Mound is on an elevated place. So you can walk around the mound, but the mound is literally on the tip of a cliff. So to just show you how amazing that it looks, I'm gonna just try to see if I can find an old picture of it, because the old picture will show you just how amazing, how it would look in ancient times. Because now it's a bunch of different things they built around it
to cover it up, so to speak.
Yeah, for lack of better words. Yeah, they tweaking. Hold on. Opening to tab. Give me a second. So this right here is like basically on the ridge. You can barely see it, but they won't let me open it in a new tab. Hold on. Oh, let me see if I can do it like this. Yeah, here we go. So it's like this ridge, this cliff, and then the Serpent Mound sits up on top of this like ridge, and it's the head, and you can kind of walk around in this circle. We go in the middle of this circle right here, give our offerings and meditate, and actually activate your Kundalini as well, because another thing about the Serpent Mound is where a meteorite fell. Known as the Serpent Mound impact structure, the result of an impact by an asteroid or comet that struck Ohio between 256 and 3,300 million years ago. So when you go to the Serpent Mound, you will activate your Kundalini. You just will. Because people have been going there for millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years. This is how deep this shit is. Where a nigga will tell you a slave. Because if you understand that you are millions of years worth of evolution, that slave story is almost laughable. And everything that this government is trying to do, everything that these people is trying to do, it becomes laughable when you actually take the spirituality serious and you actually get the downloads outside of just listening to what people tell you. Once again, don't even listen to me. Do your own research.
Once you take it out of the intellectual and you merge that with the spiritual, you understand that these people are beneath you. Like, you'll understand it. Like, you take it out of the intellectual concept and just look at it on the spiritual aspect. You'll understand that these people are beneath you. And that's like he said, it becomes laughable that they were able to, purport this and pull this over on so many people. It becomes laughable. Just hand it to spirit.
And Ava Truth said they have underground. She said they have. Hold on, let me read that. It says they have underground corridors inside the mounds. These things are all over the world. Mounds are actually all over the world. In China, everywhere there's mounds actually. And every place got a different title for it. But you can start to Google mounds in China and you'll start to understand that our people are a global people and we've created a level of consciousness that had to be taken away from us because
it was universal.
It allowed us to oppress people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's easy to oppress people when you know how powerful you are, when you so millions of years advance on the evolutionary level.
Who put this here? Right? Like, look at it like I did this. Which one of my ancestors did this? Right? Which one of my spirits, from back in the days, came up and helped my ancestors do this? Like, what were they thinking when they created this? Look at it from that perspective, and it'll change your whole view of this, right? Like, it's not like as if our people didn't, like Hood said, enslave people with our technology. We did the same thing too.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it get real sketchy when we got to deal with the karma of our ancestors. But at the same time, that's what war is, and that's what it's about. When you look at the world and you look at lions, them niggas never have parties. When you look at bears, they never kicking it, having fun. Because it's always territory, it's always environment, it's always protection of your family, of your kids, because people will take your kids in the wild. A predator is not going to even mess with you. It's going to attack your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at the world today, we in them same ways of the world. But motherfuckers love to be happy. Motherfuckers love to feel good. But actually, it's a whole war taking place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a spiritual level. And so when I'm actually talking about spiritual stuff, I'm not trying to con you. I'm not trying to persuade you into something.
Mm-mm.
Because if you were supposed to be doing that shit, it would have been done work for many people. Because ever since I've been in consciousness, niggas been talking the same talk that they've been talking. We Africa, fight the power, this, that, and the third. And it's not going to save your daughter. It's not going to save your son.
At all.
Because they've been talking about it ever since I've been alive. When I was a little boy, Black Pride, Africa this, Africa that. Niggas still chose Dr. Dre and Ice Cube over that shit.
Still. I don't know anybody that's privy to the Klan. Remember X-Clan? But X-Clan lasted for about 5 years, bro.
But when you think about that stuff is based from the premise of being a slave from Africa.
Yeah.
So it won't ever stand the test of time. You know what I mean? Because it's based off of a lie. No matter how good it makes you feel.
But then I think that X-Clan was 5%ers though.
Yeah, part of them was. But then it was they isn't that the clique that Bambaataa started with?
No, well, I wouldn't equate Africa Bambaataa to the 5%ers because whenever you do that, whenever you talk about Africa and Bambaataa, red flag.
Yeah.
He's touching on kids. He's touching on like it's over.
Right.
Like I'm sorry. I know anybody associated with that nigga is pissed. Manifesting, building, letting knowledge be born. In 1986, urban America was experiencing a repeating of the supreme mathematics, the 5% nation of the gods of the earth. I don't necessarily think that 5%ers were Africans per se. I think they were
weren't.
skewing to Hebrew Israelites.
They from the Noble Jew Ali squad. Like they not necessarily, because they follow the Quran, not the Quran. They follow the Koran.
Circa 7 Quran.
Yeah, they had the Quran. So it was like they don't follow the Quran. So it's two totally different walks of life. Like theirs is Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. That's not the same as in Islam. Allah is the womb in Islam. So it's two different concepts.
The I self-law and master and that.
Nation they're a spin-off of Noble Jew Ali and the Moors.
But those are spins off of Masonry.
Yes. It's almost one of those things where it's like, if you know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the stuff that they sprouted on the street corners that had people all up in arms and mad at them, like the Hebrew Israelites, like that stuff was just to get people engaging. Like outside of that, like they never spoke about the stuff that they were really about, because I don't truly believe they understood exactly what they were about anyway. I think they were creating a system and they were trying to get people on their side, but I don't think they necessarily had a mission outside of the Circle 7. But I could be wrong. Like I just know growing up with them, like they were different, man. Like they actually made fun of of actual Muslims. Like they made fun of Muslims.
Well, the case of the matter is niggas went with Chief Keef over them anyway. So niggas said Tupac and Biggie over consciousness, and it's so
Chief Keef was that ball.
Yeah, like people like more or less went skew gangster, and whether it was by design or not, we never rejected or rebelled against it. We more or less acquiesced to it. So now when we're actually trying to bring real education and real information, one of the requirements is gnosis, meaning that you're able to perceive things outside of what you've been told. And so the challenge with consciousness or information is cognitive dissonance, where people don't want to be challenged with what they already know, because that would break the whole fabric of, so you mean to say I didn't choose the right girlfriend, I didn't choose the right school, I didn't choose the right friends? Yes, you did it, right? Because you're ignorant. So the problem with life is that when you make bad decisions, you get bad results. So in getting to a place where you make good decisions, you got to have the facts. You got to have the truth. And if you don't have the facts, you don't have the truth, you get negative outcomes. So when I look at the Black people, I'm not surprised. We don't even know who we are. How are we going to want to get blessed and everybody have a nation? We the only people that do not have a nation. We're lawless, and it's nothing that we can do, because it's 40 million people that everybody is scamming, from Moors to Hebrew Israelites. So even if they are talking about the truth, they gonna scam you more than they gonna help you. So
yeah, we have one of those double-edged plays where it's like, you know, on one hand, the people know that they need more information, they need to do more research, but the problem is the people that are given this information and are given this research, like our people don't want to accept that. You know, like you would rather buy the Nikes, right, than buy the sneakers that look like Nikes, especially if your man is selling. Like you would rather spend that money with Phil Knight. You know, like no matter what you have offered, you're gonna have a huge amount of your own people who have a problem with themselves psychologically, which is why they will never accept this information coming from a melanated person. A lot of our people would rather it come from a fair-skinned person.
Rogan. But Joe Rogan is not going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz and them. Yeah, like
he's not going to tell you the truth. The news is not going to tell you the truth. Go ahead.
In Genesis 49, where Jacob or Israel is basically talking about each tribe, I remember being like, damn, that sounds like black people when he mentioned Simon and Levi. And he said something about them, like, I will scatter them in Israel and disperse them amongst Israelites. So basically, they're a nation that is basically amongst all the other nations, but they're not a nation standalone.
Curse be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like, this is a group of people that has no nation, but they're just spread amongst all the nations of earth.
Man, what's the solution to that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm willing to work on. Like, how do you undivide a people? How do you unscatter a people? Because if you can figure that out, that is the work. That is the soul's work. Because everything else, what the fuck? Like, we don't even know who we are. That is tragic, bro. It's painful. If you just want to live a normal, good life, and you got to deal with Western society, it's going to turn you into a hoe. I was out here fucking bitches because I didn't know God. For real? I didn't even know that the Most High was within me. I was trying to find it in the thought. No disrespect, ladies. I love you, but come on, like, I ain't have to put that much energy into you. You feel me? I could have did some meditating at 18.
Yep.
That right there is the one right there. Curse be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Yaqub and scatter them in Israel.
Mm-hmm. And then Simon, the story of Simon and Levi, I remember someone had harmed their sister, like kidnapped her, raped her, or something like that. And Jacob was like, "No, don't react." And they was just like, "No, fuck this." And they what they did, I believe they slaughtered the whole village of where the dude came from, you know. And I mean, when you hear that, it's just like, you know what I mean? Somebody harmed a woman in your family, you will be on the same shit, you know? Like,
isn't that also the same story with Set and Osiris? Like, didn't they destroy Osiris and break him up into 13 pieces?
And scattered his ass.
And they put them back together, but they didn't have the phallus.
Mm-hmm.
The part that made him who, like his truth, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we are. We are a dickless people, Paul. But like we don't.
It sounds so bad.
Man, when I get off work, I'm gonna go home and pray.
Think about it. We started this segment with you saying that the most over-sexualized people on the planet are black people. Now
we don't got no dick.
Now we ain't got no dick. I'm done with you.
We don't have the thing that make us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the magic. We don't have the sorcery. And people will say, well, what do you mean you don't have the magic or the sorcery? We've been on this bitch for millions of years. We know some shit, and it got taken away from us. And it's a mythology. And motherfuckers know if they sons of Set versus the people that know that if they sons of Osiris, they don't know. Motherfuckers know that they sons of Cain. The people that know sons of David, they don't know. You don't even know. Osiris is the foremost of the Westerners. Where are we at? We're in the West. Osiris is America. Osiris is Atlantis, right? He is the god of the golden age. He is the father of Egypt, but he wasn't born in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
He migrated to Egypt after the fall of Atlantis. And Egypt is the remnant of the eastern remnant of Atlantis, while the actual people, the tribesmen, the Cherokee Indians, they came here and they built mounds. So over on the east, they built pyramids. Over here, they built mounds. Same type of structure, same type of theory.
Same concept. Just like same concept. Just like you said, they created these monuments, but put nothing in them. Like that's exactly what the pyramids are in Egypt. Like those pyramids weren't created for people to walk around and say, "Oh, this is nice." No, like it was a description of you, like the being. Like it all of it lines up. All of it lines up with the human body and your neural, your veins, like your bloodline. All of that is connected within the consumption of the building of these temples. All of that connects with the mounds. Like it all lines up with the human body.
Exactly, and the energy that it needs, and being able to facilitate this energy from Earth and then transfer it to human beings is what gave us consciousness. So when you look at the way that the world is, everybody is on TikTok, Instagram, friends, family, barbecues, cookouts. When was the last time that a nigga raised consciousness? So how do you specifically raise your consciousness? You go to the mounds, you go out into nature, and it's like what happens when you're outside, your body synthesizes with nature, and you begin to integrate what you need to integrate from the nature and the energetic spaces. This is the reason that I am the way that I am, because I learned how to integrate in nature. And it actually does work. More than I can teach you anything, more than I can talk to you about anything, the illest, dopest shit that you can do is learn from the spirits out in nature, right? Learn from the energies, the frequencies out in nature, because that's what I'm going to do after this live. Go out into nature, absorb some energy, because that's where the consciousness comes from.
Yeah, land spirits. The spirit of the land is very crucial. It's important. Like I get up and half the time without even brushing my teeth or washing my face, I want to be in nature. Like I just want to be out there. Like there's nothing like it. Like there's no words to put to it. There's no true description that will do it justice. Like you just have to be out there. You just have to be out there. And you have to want to be out there. Like you can't look at that shit like it's a chore. Like somebody is forcing you to do something. Like either you do or you don't. You can stay inside and allow demonic spirits to fucking take over you. Why not? You know what I'm saying? People let that happen all the time. Or you can go outside and you can change that shit and make that spirit work for you as opposed to against you. I'm just saying.
Man, you think about when you get in trouble, when you was a kid, you couldn't go outside. And your whole energy was just like salty, you know? As opposed you go outside and get dirty, run around. You actually feel good.
Yeah.
One thing I know is depression doesn't work outside. Like if you spend some time in nature, like that shit will dissipate in so quickly, bro. Like there's no way the two things don't coexist. There's always new perspectives to gain, new downloads to get. Like there's no way. There's no way that I could do this shit without spirit of the land, bro. Like there's no way. There's no way.
I remember asking for a whooping so I ain't have to stay in my room. Just whoop me and let me go outside.
It's the key, man. It's the key. But it's different from the pyramid and the mound because the mound is nature and the pyramid, like a closed off structure, a house, things of that nature, it closes you out from nature. So one of our issues and problems is being housebound creatures when for millions of years we are allowing to the nature. So we actually got to force ourselves now to get outside where it was a time where our natural was just to be outside. So we are a natural and nature people.
You gotta get outside of those straight lines.
Facts. And the thing about the mounds, all of the times I've been to the mounds, I never see niggas there. So we got to get out there. We got to get outside. It'll be the one thing that'll actually help you in a space where nothing else is working. If you feeling bad and down and out, you probably just been in a house for too fucking long. And it's fucking spring, the sun is out. Take your ass to walk in them goddamn project. Get out them project highways and walk through the hood like we used to do back in the days. Unless you live in Memphis, then I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. Get a bulletproof jacket.
Unless you live in Memphis.
It's crazy.
I'm pretty sure some places people go out there.
Times is hard in those cities, man. Memphis or Mississippi, times is hard in those cities.
Gotta be careful, man. Atlanta is crazy as too. What the fuck?
Yeah. That shit is debauchery city.
Atlanta.
Man.
Gotta be careful.
I don't want to talk.
I go to where the white people is at. It's safer there.
Yeah. I do all my shit talking from where the Europeans is at.
Hell yeah. I'll be in the suburbs. Niggas be like, "Are you hood mystic?" I'll be like, "Wait, who the fuck?" I ain't used to seeing black people out here. No, I was in the suburbs at the grocery store. Nigga was like, "Are you hood mystic?" I'm like, "Nah," but it was a nigga. It was a nigga that I know, but I was a little nervous at first. Like, I'm usually around the white folks, so man, he was on the same shit I was on, getting some high quality groceries. Like, can't get them in the hood no more.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Shit's wild.
Ecotherapy is a formal type of therapeutic treatment which involves doing outdoor activities and nature. The definition of ecotherapy, but it's often used by a regular structured activity that is led and trained by professional therapists.
They wild for making money for taking you out into nature. They wild for that.
Tell me that's not wild work, son. Tell me that's not wild work.
That's
son.
nasty work.
That is wild, nasty work, son. Niggas charge you just to walk in the woods.
Yeah. You don't take your ass to the park, man. I don't know what's going for you, man.
Yo, niggas will charge you to walk outside, bro. I mean, it fits, right? They charge you for water, so I mean,
crazy work.
Niggas have turned everything into a mercantile business. So if you're not a business right now, man.
Hopefully this video is helpful to y'all, man. We about to get up out of here. I gotta get some work done. Yeah, and I know these brothers gotta do what they gotta do. But like I said, I'm gonna try to do as much content as I can while I can do it, because when these kids is around, it's no content for me. But when they ain't around, I try to do as many videos as I can to, look out and share the knowledge and hopefully get you to do the research on your own. Y'all got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Just want to answer Pharaoh. He said, how do you read the language of the trees and plants? You got to, it's not a spoken language, that's for sure. It's not gonna come through in English, but you have to be one with that plant or that tree, and you have to allow yourself to incorporate that. Let it speak to you.
Listen, receive. The Kabbalah means to receive. So make sure your mind is in a receptive point. When you say reading, that's kind of like proactive, and you can't read nature like that. You got to be so receptive and so clear. So clearing your mind is a constant approach that we tend to say, well, I meditated, I cleared my mind, but the reality is you haven't cleared it enough. So it's like when you cleaning up when you're a little kid, and you be like, "Mommy, it's clean," and she come in, and you're like, "This room ain't clean," and you look at her like, "Ma, what the hell are you talking about?" That's the same way it is with meditating. You think it's clean, but it's really not clean. And we think we clear in our mind, but we're really not. So it takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy just to get to the point where your mind is completely blank. And then even that isn't the precipice. The precipice is like, if you get it to 0, you got to then move it to -1 to be receptive to what spirit has to say. And this is where specifically listening, and that takes time, energy, and effort. So make sure you're giving yourself that.
Facts. I just want to thank my brother.
I appreciate
thank my brother for the space. You know, Sacred Serpent on Instagram and Facebook. Racine Maurice. Yeah, join the Substack, join the Discord, and appreciate y'all for letting us come out here and have this conversation with y'all. We want to do more of these, so we're just trying to get the information out as best we can. And like I said, thanks to my brother for spreading his time.
Yes. Back to work I go, y'all. Keep it gangster, keep it hood. Follow me on IG at The Hood Mystic. All right, tap in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll keep the content coming and look forward for that full moon article and video coming down the pipeline. Subscribe to the Substack. Subscribe to the Initiate Substack. Follow us on IG and join the Discord. The link is working. So make sure you join us in the Discord to continue the conversation. Peace and blessings to you and yours. It's been real. It's the Hood Mystic. My co-host, Sacred Serpent. Have my boy Jabri join us from the Initiates. 3/4 of the Initiates here. Shout out to AD. Makes the cipher complete. But with all that being said, man, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.